Hello and welcome to Tête-à-tête with Tiwa. I'm Tineke.
And I'm Wally.
Today we are going to be talking about differences. I found a quote. Why are you frowning?
Sorry, isn't it Tiwa?
What did I say?
Tiwa. Sorry, I just thought I was in the wrong room for a minute.
Hello and welcome to Tête-à-tête with Tiwa. Is that what you want? I'm not sure I've ever done that. Okay. Hello and welcome to Tête-à-tête with Tiwa. I'm Tineke. Is that better?
And I'm Wally, yes.
Praise Jesus. Okay, so quote quote that I found says, a great relationship is about two things. First, appreciating the similarities, and second, respecting the differences. So I thought we could talk about our similarities and our differences. And I'll be honest with you, I couldn't really think of many similarities at all, if any. I mean, apart from the obvious ones, like we grew up in the same country, in the same city, we had the same like social group of friends, so those ones. We came to the UK, we both came to the UK, so obviously those similarities. But in terms of us as people, like individuals and character and stuff.
You see,
Okay, we're both kind.
No, so you say so character.
Yeah.
So when it comes to character, I think we do actually have a lot of similarities.
Can you just stop and switch off the fan, please? Or at least put it on one. I think you should switch it off.
Okay, that's a definite difference.
Oh, my life.
That's a certain definite difference.
We were talking about similarities, darling.
Yeah, I was just
when we
saying
get to differences, we can get onto that.
Yeah, that certainly is not.
Wally, it will be freezing cold. Wally has the fan on, and he has it on high. I will be shivering, and Wally has the fan on. And then Wally will tell me it's because he can't breathe, that if the windows were open, he wouldn't need the fan. Then I will open the window, and the fan is still on.
One needs moving air. Still air stifles me. It's just the way I'm built. What can I say?
This is why some people have separate rooms.
That would be their difference as well. As opposed to their similarities.
Oh, my life.
So I think we have quite a few similarities, yeah. And these lie in the characteristics that we share. So kindness, empathy, the love for people, the love for ourselves as well. When I say ourselves, I'm talking about individually. Yeah, the individuals. So you appreciate yourself, you love yourself. Do you see? Yeah, I know that sounds a bit confused. You seem a bit confused there.
I'm waiting for you to land.
Or maybe appreciation is the word. The way we see human beings, the way we see people, I think those are similarities, and I think they're foundational, core even.
Yeah, so those are like, okay, maybe not. I was going to say those are like, we have shared values. I get that. And so those are similarities, I guess.
Yeah.
But we're not similar in things like the things we like, the things we do.
Oh, we have a few similarities in the things we like.
Like?
You like reading, I like reading.
Okay, one similarity.
You like music, I like music.
We just like different types of music, okay? Two
similarities. But we like music nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
We're able to appreciate music. To be frank, there's none of your music that I don't appreciate. There's some I can find boring, but it's not because I don't appreciate. You see, and I'm sure the same goes with you, with some of my music as well. But yeah, what else?
I wonder if the reason why we struggle to find similarities like that is because we just accept them, and maybe we already, what did the quote say? Appreciate. Maybe we already appreciate the similarities, so we're not really like
Yeah, I think.
picking them out.
Yeah, I think.
But I did really struggle to think of. I was like, we're so different. I can't even. I mean, I was struggling to think about similarities apart from those obvious, the ones that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think they're more. I think we're more similar than we actually know.
But I think we're more different than we are similar.
Yes, we are different. Yes, we are. Yes, we are different. But I think we have more similarities than we're perhaps even aware of. Maybe if we were to strip it down, um, which I guess is what you're trying to do now, we might be able to. Well, that's difficult.
Okay, leave that anyway. So differences. I was thinking about our differences, and I mean, I personally think that we're different in every single way. Um, but someone had said to me a while back, they had spoken about, they were talking about it as habits, but they were saying, is there a habit that Wale has that you thought was cute before you got married, and now you don't think it's so cute? And I was thinking about that.
Sorry, was it a woman that came up with that question?
Why does that matter?
No, no, was it?
Yeah, but you knew that because in your head you're thinking men don't think like that.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, would I think to ask someone if his wife had a habit that he thought was cute and now isn't anymore? I don't. So men don't think like that. I don't think.
That's probably because women generally don't have habits that would become irritating later.
Perhaps.
Anyway, so I was thinking about it and I thought, okay, so I was thinking about it not as a habit so much, but as one of the differences. So the difference that I think we have, which is a difference that has its pros and cons. So you are, well, Wale is laid back. He is so laid back, he's almost flat.
Wow, me?
Now, when we were dating, this was great because, cool guy, nothing stresses him, everything is easy, doesn't matter what, no big deal. Yeah. Then we got married. Still cool guy, nothing stresses him, everything is easy. But all of a sudden, there are things that need to stress him that don't stress him. Like, I don't know, just different things like what?
No, no.
Okay, like let's even say, for example, how we're going to pay our rent. Doesn't stress him. Cool guy, laid back, all good. So there are little things like that. So now, obviously, there are pros and cons to everything. So give an example. If I ask Wale to do something, he's a cool guy, laid back, nothing stresses him, does things in his own time. 5 months later, he will do what I asked him to do. He will do it. There's no question about it. I have no doubt that he will do it. My challenge is, when will he do it? Because he's so laid back and it's just like, when I get around to it. Yeah. So that, at this point in time in a marriage, what was very cute and cool and oh my gosh, before we got married, is sometimes quite frustrating within the marriage. However, there are pros and cons to this because, there's situations where, of course, the pro is that he doesn't get stressed, as in nothing phases him. That is actually a very good thing because I don't know that I would want him to be stressed in certain situations, or if I had a husband that was anxious about everything and everything was like a big deal, I'm not sure I would want that. So I say that to say that whilst it frustrates me sometimes, I actually think that it's a positive a lot of the time.
Well, thank you. Be anxious for nothing.
But that's not why you're laid back. You're such a tweet. That's not why you're laid back, because you are like, oh, I'm anxious for nothing. True, yes, I know that you're anxious for nothing, and I know that you have faith in God and everything, but I think that your laid backness was, we cannot credit.
You can't credit God. Is what you're saying.
I don't think so. But hey,
Lord have mercy upon her.
amen.
Amen.
Okay.
Um,
So differences. Another difference. Do you have a difference?
I don't think so. I don't.
Well, you know, you couldn't think of similarities, but and you know we're very different, but you can't think of a difference.
Oh no. Okay. No, I thought you were talking about this question about.
No, we established at the beginning that it doesn't happen with women because we just are not. We've already established that. So
Oh,
it was only for me to say, not for
wow,
you to say. And that's why
wow,
it's a woman that would ask that question
that
because a man,
question.
it would be irrelevant to you.
You know, I'm just going to
Just
let.
let it go.
I'll let that one go
Just
because
let it go.
for some reason, I don't think that's going to apply to everybody. But hey, um, you know, maybe it's maybe in my case it doesn't apply to me because I'm
Because you're so cool and laid back and nothing stresses you.
no, it could be because I'm in the company of perfection herself.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, right.
You need to really stop that, Wale. Like,
No, but look, if there's nothing to be, you know what they say: if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. If there's nothing broken, then what am I
yeah, but
fixing?
that doesn't mean it's perfect. It's the use of perfection that I'm objecting to.
Oh, from me, that is. What if that's my perspective?
But then, but that's even worse. That's so wrong, and that's not your perspective.
But perhaps I'm deluded. But you guys are messing about.
He's messing
Um,
about.
um, yes, differences. No, we have many differences. But I think our differences have closed over time. When I say closed, they've come closer.
Hmm.
So they're not glaring anymore. Um, I remember when we were younger, my smoky, boozy days. And you couldn't stand, first things, you can't stand alcohol, one. Two, smoke. Um, my night clubbing days, the club and the frequency, and you couldn't go into a nightclub for what, all of 20 minutes without wanting to go home. Um, and I was happy to stay till
Daybreak,
5 a.m., not quite
dawn.
daybreak, dawn, unless, of course, it was going on till 10, and then we could stretch it. Um, yeah, so those kind of things. Um, I think I perhaps was more not used to, but I didn't mind living on the edge. I don't think you quite appreciated living on the edge. Um, yeah, so I think we do have our differences there. But over time, I think we've learned to meet in the middle a bit more, you know. So now, if we were to go to a nightclub, I imagine that you'd be more inclined to stay an hour.
But you know, in
Or
nightclubs now they don't smoke. You know, in those days it was like a smoky mess, man. Ugh, just
yeah, I
didn't like
guess.
it at all. So
Yeah, but even the loud music for a very long time, for sustained time, will get to you.
yeah, but if it's the right sort of music, maybe not.
Yeah, which you won't find in a nightclub.
Oh, well.
Um, um, so yeah, um, yeah, but yeah. So of course, there are very many differences. Um, and truth is, there's another thing. So talking about paying mortgage, paying rent, um, it's not that. So my external demeanor
It
is,
does not mean you're like a duck underwater.
yeah, doesn't it's not necessarily because but it's just the way that one handles it. So it's not that one is nonchalant because it could seem like that. But that's not. It was never like that. It was just you needed calm to deal with the situation, I think, and that's why I would.
There's calm and there's lying flat.
No, you see, that's all perspective. You might see it. You might have seen it as lying flat.
But another place
for
where
me,
we have
then it
a
was just
huge
about
difference
calm. Mhm.
is with money. Do you think we're different with money?
We're different. Because I'm a bit more. Again, I'm on the edge with money. I wouldn't say reckless. No, I'm not reckless. No, not reckless. But a bit more uh, free-handed. No, actually, that's not the word. That's not the right word.
I guess the easy way to put it is you're a spender and a saver.
Yes.
That's the easy way to put it. And I think so that's one difference that obviously can be an issue. But there are pros and cons to both sides. Now, I think, and I was saying this to you earlier, that I think that this is based on our upbringing. And I don't know if this is true for everyone, but I think that certainly in our case, it's our upbringing that, well, maybe not, but I think it's our upbringing because I think with you, you had money available all the time.
Mm.
So you never really had to think about it. So when you have it, you spend it, it comes again. Yeah? That's kind of how you were brought up.
Mm.
You want something, you get it, and then you want something else, you get it. You want something else, you get it. Whereas the way I was brought up was you save for what you want. So if it's going to take you 4 weeks to save, then you take 4 weeks and then you get what you want. And if what you want is gone by then, well, then too bad because you had to save up to be able to get it. So it's a completely different mindset.
I suppose.
You know what I mean? And that's why I think it's like so for me, it's like even now I'm thinking, okay, we need to save or we need to budget or we need to, that sort of thing. Whereas you are thinking, yeah, well, we have the money, let's go on holiday.
Well, I mean, look, yeah.
But I think there are pros and cons to that because I think the pro to yours is that we do stuff that I probably would never put into my budget or my plan like that. And I think obviously the cons is that, it comes, it goes, like something. But I think with mine, the pros are that, okay, we can budget, we can save, we can plan. But then the cons are that, maybe there's a lot of stuff that we don't do that we could do that we probably could have done, but because I was being too, sensible, we didn't do or whatever. So I think it's a good match.
Yeah.
I think it works, but I do think that certainly earlier on in the marriage it was a problem because I'm like, why must every penny that you get be spent? As in, I don't understand why.
I mean, that's you asking a rhetorical question, of course. Okay, I imagine you're not expecting me to answer that.
I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, so because you have money, you must spend. I don't understand. I still don't understand that that way of thinking that because I have, I must spend. I don't understand that. And I'm not even saying because I feel
but you see, it's not necessarily because I have, I must spend. But if there's something to spend it on,
there's always something to spend it on.
Why then deny oneself when there's, but yes, anyhow. I do a lot better these days.
No, you do. And I think I do a lot better as well. I think we've both, so we've met in the middle there where you're much better and I'm much better.
Yeah.
And so we kind of have an okay balance. I think, I still prefer that we were doing more of my stuff, but,
Yeah, of course.
No, I mean, I'm just saying I would still prefer, I'm still not quite.
Yeah, no,
but
naturally,
I think,
because that would be you. I mean, that's you being you, because that's the way you're built.
Yeah, because it makes sense as well.
Yes, it does.
Anyway, yes, so I think, to go back to the quote, let me find that quote again. It says a great relationship is about two things. First of all, I think that's not true. It's about many, many things, but I get what they're saying. First, appreciating the similarities, and second, respecting the differences. So there you go. we struggle to find our similarities. We found a few. We know that we have lots of differences, but really, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. It's about how we work together with the similarities and the differences. And it's a learning thing. We're not there yet, as you heard. There are many things that we're still working on, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's an interesting one, though. It's an interesting one. I think this would. I mean, this would be for. I can't imagine being
The
similar.
same.
The
Yeah, no,
same.
yes, I can't. Well,
Yeah.
that's why they say opposites attract, don't they? So it's like you see something in the other person that you don't have that attracts you to them. If you are too similar, I mean, it'd be like being with yourself, as in then, so what's the
Yeah.
point?
Yeah.
I think. But then at the same time, I feel like there's wisdom in not being too different because that might just not work. It might be. So I think, like, going back to what you said in the beginning, there must be some similarities that we are just taking for granted that
Yeah.
exist, that are almost like the basis
Yeah.
of even the attraction in the
In the
first
first
place.
place. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. I really don't
There
know.
must be something. There must be that pool of commonality.
Well,
With
that's it.
the
We'll see you next time.
Indeed. Bye from me.
That's a new ending.
Just thinking, why not?
And bye from me. That's so corny
Okay, all right. We won't say bye
and a
then.
little bit ridiculous.
What would we say
So
normally?
see you next time. That's what we always say.
See you
And I mean,
next
not that
time.
we can't change it, but that bye from me.
Okay, so see you next time.
You normally say ciao.
You just did.